Hey y'all, Texan Reacts here, and yesterday I did a TED Ed video, a reaction to the history according to cats, and I thought it was kind of cool. And this one popped up. You know, YouTube's gonna start suggesting this stuff to me now that I watched it. But this is another TED Ed, and this one is a brief history of cheese. Who can say no to cheese? Other than you unfortunate souls who are lactose intolerant. I am not. I love cheese. So I love almost every cheese. There's some that are a little too much for me, but pretty much the sharper the better. I like sharp cheese. So yeah, let's see the history of cheese. Why not? Yeah,
Before empires and royalty, before pottery and writing, before metal tools and weapons, there was cheese.
no way.
As early as 8000 BCE, the earliest Neolithic farmers living in the Fertile Crescent began a legacy of cheesemaking,
Really?
almost as old as civilization itself.
I mean, I know they had goats, like sheep and goats and stuff. That is, I had no idea it predated all of that stuff.
Cheesemaking, almost as old as civilization itself. The rise of agriculture led to domesticated sheep and goats, which ancient farmers harvested for milk. But when left in warm conditions for several hours, that fresh milk began to sour. Its lactic acids caused proteins to coagulate, binding into soft clumps. Upon discovering this strange transformation, the farmers drained the remaining liquid, later named whey, and found the yellowish globs could be eaten fresh as a soft, spreadable meal. These clumps, or curds, became the building blocks of cheese, which would eventually be aged, pressed, ripened, and whizzed into a diverse cornucopia of dairy delights. The discovery of cheese gave Neolithic people an enormous survival advantage. Milk was rich with essential proteins, fats, and minerals, but it also contained high quantities of lactose, a sugar which is difficult to process for many ancient and modern stomachs. Cheese, however, could provide all of milk's advantages with much less lactose. And since it could be preserved and stockpiled, these essential nutrients could be eaten throughout scarce famines and long winters.
Very cool.
Some 7th millennium BCE pottery fragments found in Turkey still contain telltale residues of the cheese and butter they held. By the end of the Bronze Age, cheese was a standard commodity in maritime trade throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. In the densely populated city-states of Mesopotamia, cheese became a staple of culinary and religious life. Some of the earliest known writing includes administrative records of cheese quotas.
I thought this was just going to be a silly little thing about, types of cheese or something. This is actually blowing me away. It never even dawned on me how far back cheese goes.
Listing a variety of cheeses for different rituals and populations across Mesopotamia. Records from nearby civilizations in Turkey also reference rennet. This animal byproduct, produced in the stomachs of certain mammals, can accelerate and control coagulation. Eventually, this sophisticated cheese-making tool spread around the globe, giving way to a wide variety of new, harder cheeses.
Oh yeah.
And though some conservative food cultures rejected the dairy delicacy, many more embraced cheese and quickly added their own local flavors. Nomadic Mongolians used yak's milk to create hard, sun-dried wedges of buaslag. Egyptians enjoyed goat's milk cottage cheese, straining the whey with reed mats. In South Asia, milk was coagulated with a variety of food acids, such as lemon juice, vinegar, or yogurt, and then hung to dry into loaves of paneer. This soft, mild cheese could be added to curries and sauces, or simply fried as a quick vegetarian dish. The Greeks produced bricks of salty, brined feta cheese, alongside a harder variety similar to today's pecorino romano.
Yeah, now we're talking.
This grating cheese was produced in Sicily and used in dishes all across the Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
Under Roman rule, dry cheese, or caseus aridus, became an essential ration for the nearly 500,000 soldiers guarding the vast borders of the Roman Empire. And when the Western Roman Empire collapsed, cheesemaking continued to evolve in the manners that dotted the medieval European countryside.
There we go.
In the hundreds of Benedictine monasteries scattered across Europe, medieval monks experimented endlessly with different types of milk, cheesemaking practices, and aging processes that led to many of today's popular cheeses. Parmesan, Roquefort, Muenster, and several Swiss types were all refined and perfected by these cheese-making clergymen. In the Alps, Swiss cheesemaking was particularly successful, producing a myriad of cow's milk cheeses. By the end of the 14th century, Alpine cheese from the Gruyere region of Switzerland had become so profitable that a neighboring state invaded the Gruyere highlands to take control of the growing cheese trade. Cheese remained popular through the Renaissance, and the Industrial Revolution took production out of the monastery and into machinery. Today, the world produces roughly 22 billion kilograms of cheese a year, shipped and consumed around the globe.
22 billion kilograms. 22 billion kilograms. What is that? 50 billion pounds? Something like 50 billion almost?
But 10,000 years after its invention, local farms are still following in the footsteps of their Neolithic ancestors, handcrafting one of humanity's oldest and favorite foods. Find out how Swiss cheese gets its holes by watching this episode, or trace the fascinating and often cruel history of chocolate with...
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I actually learned quite a bit there. I was not expecting to learn a whole lot. But yeah, that was really cool. I love cheese. Swiss is not my favorite. I'll eat it, but it's a little too mild and nutty for me. I like the sharp, I like cheddars, different kinds of cheddar. But yeah, that was really cool. If you have any of these cute little history lessons and stuff that you want me to check out, please send them to me. There's a Google form in the description down below. Just put it through there. Say something in the comments. And otherwise, please like this video if you enjoyed it. And please subscribe to my channel. I've got a little playlist going for history. So this is going to go on that. Anything that has something to do with history, I'm going to be putting on that playlist. And if you like that, please check it out. And check out the Discord. Come say hello. The link is in the description. Till next time, rock on.